Yo, yo, what is up, YouTube family? Hopefully, coming through loud and clear here. So, I wanted to drop in to discuss something that has been present for me lately, which is transcending the internal rat race, what I would consider the truest rat race. And this is really what's really been dropping in is that it's related to some Bentinho Massaro meditations I've been doing lately as part of a retreat of his. Some of his statements have really been deeply resonating and allowing me to more deeply realize and re-realize and rediscover things I've discovered over time. Often we have to just keep learning the same lessons over and over again. They sink in deeper and deeper. And one of those that felt really ripe to share is this realization that everything that we're truly looking for, everything that we truly want, everything we truly need is always already present in this moment now, always already present right here now. Maybe just close your eyes for a moment and take a couple deep breaths. Feel your body from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head. Feel your body awareness and just elevate your conviction, your faith, your trust, your conviction that everything you're truly looking for on the deepest level is already here in this moment now. That this moment now already is peace, happiness, perfection, the perfection of Tao, source, cosmos, universe, God, the absolute, the all, whatever you want to call it, nature, the perfection of nature exploring itself, the perfection of nature expressing itself and artistically exploring and discovering new avenues perpetually. That's always going on. This is that perfection right now. And always there is this aspect of us that is not whatever is seeming to appear externally in our lives, the seeming circumstances of our lives. There's this deeper aspect of us, this emptiness, call it this isness, this aspect that can't be located in any of the appearances. The more we empty ourselves, the more we drop into the isness, the pure presence of this moment, the more we can come into contact with this changeless, formless peace that is already here. This changeless, formless substratum that is already here. And this is also part of what we're looking for. We're looking for that discovery, that conviction that this is already the most profoundly astonishing miracle. This moment is God exploring God. It is the all exploring the all. It is nature exploring nature through the aperture of our being. And any single thing that we do in our lives, on the deepest level, none of it is higher or lower, better or worse. It is all the creator exploring the creator, generating novel perspectives, novel understandings, novel ideas, insights, angles, jokes, sorrows, just new ways for the creator to know itself. You are an entirely novel, once in eternity way for the creator to know itself, a once in eternity texture, flavor. And when you start to know that and you start to see every moment as that, and you start to be in touch with this formless peace that transcends whatever is appearing, this formless isness, beingness, suchness, and what is even beyond isness, beingness, awareness, just this utterly unsayable, nameless, spaceless space, this purely at rest space, this kind of place that we all go to when we're in deep, dreamless sleep, similar to this. What is that space? We still exist in that space, and yet nothing that we would typically identify as ourselves or our lives or our world is there in that space. It's just this space of pure rest, pure peace. It goes beyond peace. There's no identifiable quality to it. It's not even burdened by having to be anything. It doesn't even have to be anything in particular. It's just the most pure level of formless being, and it's already here. It's already here. So the internal rat race is basically everything in us that says what I'm looking for is not already here right now. What I'm looking for, I'll get it 7 steps down the line. I'll get it when X and Y are completed. I'll get it when I reach this or that goal. Everything in us that has been subconsciously traumatized or conditioned or indoctrinated into some kind of lack belief system, some kind of scarcity-based belief system that says, I am not already whole. This is not already God. This is not already the perfection of the creator exploring itself. I need to get somewhere else. Something needs to change. Something needs to improve. I'm not enough in this current form. Everything in us that says that, wiggling my mouth like a little mouse, everything in us that says that is the internal rat race. And of course, that's perfect too. That internal rat race is also God exploring what it's like to be a being that has an internal rat race going on, that is feeling separate, that is feeling cut off, that is feeling like not enough. So the first step to transcending this stuff is actually just recognizing it in yourself and accepting that it's there and seeing that that too is part of the creator exploring the creator. Because it's not like I don't have any of this stuff going on. You know, I have loops like anyone that are wondering about what happens when my savings deplete. You know, what's the next thing I need to launch to generate more income? You know, everyday concerns like this, like we all have. You know, where are my wife and daughter and I going to live? Where's our long-term home base going to be? You know, I need to figure this out. The thinking mind is always going to be, to some extent, in this linear process. And it's good at that, right? It's useful to have that going on. That's pragmatically useful to see life in terms of past, present, future, and to be thinking about how do I solve the pragmatic issues that are arising in my life. You know, that's very useful in its healthy form that allows you to stay in integrity. However, if we completely identify with that process, if we get completely locked into that process, then we're just always going to feel like we're not there yet, because the mind is always going to be seeing the next obstacle, the next sequence of things that supposedly need to happen or that I need to do to make it to the next stage. And the mind is always thinking, oh, it's going to feel so good when I get to that stage. Then we can feel much more peace, much more freedom, because we'll have X and Y figured out. We'll have more zeros in the bank account. We'll have, whatever it is. So increasingly over time, as another person like you who's just on this path of life and dealing with the conditioning that generates this internal rat race, I've just increasingly discovered the usefulness, the profundity of, for one, accepting that mental process is going on, but also disidentifying from it, spaciously discovering the space around it, looking at, what is this mental process actually that says this moment is not enough and I need to think about this future and check these boxes. What is that really? Realizing that it's just kind of a conceptual projection or fabrication that's going on that has a certain usefulness as a tool. It's a beautiful servant and a terrible master, like so many things in life. A beautiful servant, a terrible master. It's okay that the mind is doing its thing and kind of solving, life's pop quizzes as they present themselves. But this aspect of transcending that, discovering the space around that, dropping back into the formless isness around that, and just increasingly unconditionally accepting that mental process is going on, that's going to be there, but disidentifying from that and really deeply asking myself, is what I'm truly looking for somewhere else? Is it actually somewhere else, or is it right here now? Is it already here? And when I look deeply enough at that question, when I inquire deeply enough into that question, when I am able to drop back and let go of my conceptual stories and identities and just drop back into that pure, timeless, spaceless space, just this naked spaciousness that is always here, that is underlying phenomena, that is forever permeating and generating all phenomena, this changeless, formless peace that is already here. If I tune into that, then the answer is clearly, it's all right here already. What I'm looking for is right here. So this to me is a really powerful mantra that can be really useful to contemplate on, to inquire into, to help transcend this internal rat race, to not necessarily end the mental process that is hooked into a linear story about a life and things that need to happen. That mental process is probably going to continue, but to just find the space around that, to see that mental process even, and that story and this idea of a person named Jordan Bates living a life, that is all conceptually generated. And that on a deeper level, all of that conceptually generated stuff is actually made out of this formless piece that I can discover as the fundamental substratum of my experience. It's like this old Hindu saying, I may not get this exactly right, but it's something like, Brahman is not the world. Brahman cannot appear in the world. Brahman is all there is, Brahman and the world are one. So the essence of that statement is like the essence of what you are is not found in the world. It's not found in the world of concepts and stories and identities. It's deeper than that. You have to let that stuff go to a certain degree to contact that formless oneness, that formless isness. And then you can discover that that is actually all there is. Brahman, God, Tao, isness, nature, whatever you want to call it. And then the integration aspect is when you then see Brahman and the world are one. So you had to kind of make this distinction initially to discover Brahman, to discover emptiness, to discover formlessness. You had to see, you had to do the kind of neti, not this process of disidentifying from the world and saying, no, I'm not that, I'm not that, I'm not that, I'm not that. And through disidentifying with all concepts, you discover this formless emptiness, this formless peace that underlies phenomena. And you realize that that is actually the essence of all that is. That is actually the only thing that's really here is nature, is source, Tao, God, mystery, the absolute. And then it kind of comes full circle as you realize, that also means that the world too is actually Brahman, is God, is Tao, is formless essence, simultaneously from different angles. I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not this, I'm not that, and I am all of it. You eventually come back to I am all of it. And then you discover the kind of I'm everything and nothing at the same time, and what is completely beyond either of those polarities. It's like that Nisargadatta quote, love tells me I'm everything, wisdom tells me I'm nothing, and between these two, my life flows, something like that. And so to me, transcending the internal rat race is really about discovering that formless peace, that formless essence, discoverable in our direct experience of the spaciousness, the changeless, empty, space-like awareness that is already here, that is the substratum of all phenomena. And then gradually realizing that the world is entirely made of that. That is how you can come to a realization that everything I'm looking for is already here. And how that can become more than just some kind of hollow mantra, but it can become a direct experiential reality more and more. And again, I'm not saying this is my direct experiential reality all the time, but increasingly, as I tune into this reality more and more, tune into this experience, all I can speak from is my direct experience. As I notice more and more this formless space, as I engage non-conceptually with my reality, as I drop concepts and identities, and I just realize that this is all mystery. This is all the one unsayable God mystery exploring itself. As that drops in deeper and deeper, allowing for greater levels of conviction that that is really the case, then I do more and more often directly experience, wow, what I'm looking for is just this moment itself. What I'm looking for is always already here, always already here. See a couple hearts from Brady. What's up, bro? Thank you for dropping by. Much love. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the essence of what I wanted to say. What up, Austin? Nice to see you guys. Much love. I think I think I'm going to cut it off there. If anyone is wanting to go deeper into what has been discussed here, there's a link that I dropped to my link tree in the description. That'll take you to some deeper places where you can learn more about what I've discussed. Obviously, it's impossible. Well, not impossible, but unlikely that in a 20-minute YouTube video, I can fully convey what I attempted to point at here. But hopefully, this has been useful for some of you. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Much love, much peace, much joy. Wishing you a chillax, a daisical, daisy-filled day on the Earth Rock. We all headed to the Hearst dock, so might as well kick the silly rhymes and just enjoy the willy-nilly day, dime piece, holy really, how we do it, willy-nilly, doesn't matter, I just killed it, I could go ahead and flow and just drop right into the just experientially, non-stop, God nectar, pop rocks, holy shit, unlock a new cheat code, defeat mo, end bosses, I send flossing rappers a new type of dentistry every single day, relentlessly tapping into Someone says it's too early for this. Well, I'm not sure. You're probably in the States. I'm in Berlin right now. It's three in the afternoon. Maybe I could grab a spoon. I have to move. Had to dance in my underpants. Peter Pan in an ambulance. All right. Much love, y'all. Take care. Take it easy. One love.